Well, welcome to popular shows that I probably should have watched a long time ago, but didn't. Starting with Teen Wolf. Now, first things first, I had to get this out of the way. Dylan O'Brien, my guy, love you. So, definitely going to be watching it for him alone. And I like the way that he's playing the character styles. Like, I feel like it's a little different than the things that I'm used to him seeing. Like, so that's going to be like a nice little change. Now to the story itself so far for episode one. That's what he gets for being nosy for one. And it was kind of obvious from the beginning that Derek was the one that changed him. Like it I just feel like a lot of stuff happened really fast in this episode, like a lot of things to unpack. Yeah, off the bat, even with Allison appearing as the new girl and everything, like I knew something was off about her, but knowing that her dad was a hunter, that was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of predictable. Maybe because the show was done a while ago, that's probably why I could pretty much figure out the plot so quickly. But also, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one yet. I think it's going to be interesting because it's kind of like my alley of like the fantasy type of things. But I do wish him in wolf mode kind of looked a little bit better. I don't know. Like I said, it is an older show, so it could be like the technology from back then, but I mean, it wasn't that long ago, so I feel like they could have at least done a little bit more with the makeup, in my personal opinion. Not too bad, but I don't know, he just it was just kind of funny. And not Styles calling it immediately, like he was making a joke at first but ended up being right. And is that Roy Harper? I missed the times where the only thing that we wanted to worry about was whether or not we could play a game. I feel like if I watched this as a teenager, I could relate so hard to not being able to do something I wanted to do because, I don't know, just watching it as an adult, it's kind of funny to me. It's just so trivial. But irregardless, love Styles. He's like the perfect best friend for this to happen to, like, you know, because he is naturally curious, so he's gonna do stuff, and then his little banter with him and his dad is just, it's hilarious. But Jackson, I'm gonna need him to mind his own business because he's gonna mess around the FAFO, and it's not gonna be pretty because he's getting into something that he has no business. And his girlfriend too, like, I don't know, I don't know, she's just being weird. And I feel like Allison's dad knows. Like, he's just trying to, like, test the waters and stuff, but I feel like he already knows. And I don't know what that's going to mean. Like, does Allison know? Is she, like, a hunter, too? Or is she just the daughter and she's oblivious to what her dad's doing? Like, that's the part that I'm still not clear on. But, yeah, I feel like that's going to end really badly. Why is Derek so creepy? I mean, yeah, he's just... So definitely didn't see that coming. This whole time I thought Derek was the one that changed Scott. But now that we know there's an alpha out there, like that makes more sense too, because the shadow that they were showing was a little bit more animal than when Derek actually transitioned and changed himself. So things are getting interesting. But I'm also side-eyeing Allison a little bit because she clearly has training. She called it gymnastics, but I feel like she knows about the hunter life. Like, she's showing a little bit of signs. I don't know. I'm still undecided about that, but I feel like I'm leaning more towards that she knows what a hunter is. She just doesn't know about Scott yet, hopefully. And I said it before and I'll say it again. That girl is weird. Like, I don't know. It's just so cringe to me. And low-key, I'm starting to feel a little bit for Jackson. Like, he doesn't seem like a super bad guy. He just wants to know what's going on. Like, it makes sense. Like, you know, somebody that wasn't good before is all of a sudden good and doing things. Like, of course, you're going to be skeptical a little bit. So, I'm starting to see past the jerkiness of him, but I still feel like he needs to mind his business. Kate's going to be a problem. I can already tell now. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Allison doesn't really know about the hunter life yet, but her dad was having her in activities and stuff to get her ready for it. So I think that's probably what's going on, because archery really, like, it's right there. Call it a hunch, but I feel like Kate's the one that burned down Hill's family house. Yeah, I'm ready to see who this alpha is. I feel like it's going to be somebody like we would never expect. I told y'all Kate was going to be a problem. I really feel like Styles shouldn't have deleted that photo. Like, that was the real concrete evidence. I know he wasn't able to get a hold of Scott, which was pretty annoying in itself. But anyway, that could have been something that he could have like at least saved or printed it off, even if he was deleting it off of her phone. And poor Jackson, he's going through it. Like, I'm starting to feel for him a little bit because that was a lot to take on for real. But does this mean, because it seems like he was marked in some kind of way, does this mean that he's either going to turn or he's in line to be turned? And why was everybody just standing around when clearly if everybody's running away from something, why are you guys just like standing there just looking around like nothing's happening? Like, I don't know. That was just kind of a weird situation for me. But I do think it kind of solidified in Scott's mind who exactly Allison's dad is and like what he can potentially do. Now, I do feel like there was a very big significance with the parent-teacher conferences. I think that's why they did it that way, so they can kind of give us a little bit more insights on the characters. Jackson being, you know, who he is, that kind of makes sense, and the fact that he's going through what he's going through, that just tracks all the way. Oh girl, I keep forgetting what her name is, but the fact that she's that smart and everything, I feel like that's going to come into play later on as well. And honestly, the coach, I feel like there's something wrong with him. I don't know what it is yet, but something is off with that man. But the person that I really wanted to discuss was the science teacher. He was kind of weird. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like he's giving alpha vibes, low-key. Just by how his interaction was and like how he, just looking back on other things with Styles with the highlighter, and then he would, I guess he heard what Styles was talking about with Scott and was like, oh, you're talking so loud or whatever, and they weren't really talking that loud. So I feel like I'm gonna guess, that's gonna be my first guess on who the alpha is. I think it's the science teacher. Man, Derek, if you just waited a couple more minutes, you would have saw your uncle give you that sign that you were looking for. You were being a little too hasty, sir. But also the veterinarian, he would have been like the last person on my list, honestly, because he just seems so normal. But now I'm curious, is he gonna be the alpha? So I guess he's suspect too now, obviously. You know what? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's the alpha, but I do think he is a werewolf. I don't know, something in my heart of hearts is telling me that the science teacher, he's just so odd to me. So I just feel like he's the actual alpha, and then the others are probably his betas. And you know, I might have to rewatch episode 5 because I don't remember seeing Styles' dad getting injured or hurt. So I feel like I thought I skipped the episode or something, but yeah, like what happened? Did he fall because of the mountain lion? I thought he was there and he was fine. And what's going on with Jackson? Like, it was kind of creepy, like the whole hand crawling out of thing. Like, I feel like he's marked, or I don't know what's going on with him. Like, what? That's kind of weird. It's like he's infected or like he has a disease or something. Not like how like a normal bite, but the claw marks came from Derek. So I don't know. Okay, wow. I honestly feel like this is probably one of the most important season or episodes in the whole season because it did a lot of foreshadowing. Like, everything with the school was strictly the alpha and the main characters, and I felt like it pretty much opened up a whole can of worms on like what's gonna be happening in the future. Like, this is Allison's first interaction with the werewolf for one. Jackson, I don't know, Jackson and Allison, they're starting to have a weird dynamic. I don't like where that's going. But Jackson also has a connection with the alpha too, which we kind of saw from that. So that's kind of interesting to see how that's going to play out. And then because of the whole Jackson and Allison thing, well, one, Lydia, I knew that her smarts were going to come in handy at one point, even though Jackson screwed it up. But the dynamic between her and Allison are now going to change because of the whole dynamic between Jackson and Allison. Like, there's just so much that happened in this episode to unpack for real. And then the veterinarian just coming out of nowhere. Like, I know I said in the last part that I don't think it's him, but now I am, because like, where did you come from? And also, I don't really like that Scott threw Derek under the bus again. Like, after all the help that he's been giving him, like, that was just, I didn't like that. Styles is a good friend. And I take it back. I don't feel bad for Jackson anymore. Anything that comes to him or happens to him is much deserved. Mommy. Yes. Now I kind of see what you guys were talking about with Allison. Like, she's starting to annoy me a little bit for real. And telling Kate, of all people, and honestly, I'm starting to look at Scott different too this episode, because what was that? Like, it doesn't matter that he was going through a breakup. Like, that's your best friend. And it's Lydia. Like, no me gusta. And Derek for the save again. Like, he was so close to messing things up. And again, the same person he threw under the bus went and helped him and is going to try to help him again find the alpha. Now, I know I keep flip-flopping like about who I think the alpha is, but when they did the transition, I didn't see a bald head. So now I don't think it's a veterinarian. So I'm going to go back to my original and say it's the science teacher, just because they weren't bald and they looked like they had hairs. I really don't know who it is, but that's going to be my prediction from here on out, I guess. The uncle? I literally don't have any words for that twist. I was not prepared for it to be the uncle. I mean, it makes total sense now how they were explaining that he was probably weak. That's why he needs to have a pack and everything. But wow. All twists and shockers aside, of course, I'm always going to give my props to Styles because he's hilarious. Him and his whole thing trying to prove it. Oh, he's just the best person. And I'm starting to think that Derek kind of likes him. Not like him, but like, even though they have their beef or whatever, like, he finds comfort in dealing with Styles for it. And Jackson's just dumb. Like, he's just really dumb. And I sense that Kate is going to start grooming Allison. Like, I knew she had something to do with the fire. Now it's confirmed. And also, even though I was wrong about the science teacher, I wasn't completely wrong in knowing that, something about him was off. So the fact that he did kind of have a role to play, even though he didn't do anything explicitly, he was still guilty by association. But yeah, Kate, she says that she's not psychotic, but she has issue. And Jackson, trying to play with Scott by getting to Allison, is not really knowing what he's getting himself into. He thinks he got the upper hand and he knows what he wants, not realizing how dangerous the situation really is. And Allison is just falling for it. Like, just them two together, him dumping Lydia and him trying to get with Allison, it's just, ugh. It's a big ugh. And quickly, I would like to just say thank you guys for not spoiling it for me in the comments, because I know I was throwing a lot of accusations and theories and things like that, and nobody gave me any kind of inclination that this was who it was. So I was appropriately shocked for the first time. So appreciate y'all. And I would like to reiterate, Jackson is stupid, because what did you think was gonna happen? And I feel like Derek is low-key lost. He's tied between wanting to be loyal to his family and then also wanting to be loyal to, like, Scott. And I feel like there's only a couple more episodes left in this season. Like, ultimately, he's going to have to make a choice between the Alpha or Scott. And honestly, I feel like he has a soft spot for Scott. So hopefully he chooses that way. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And Allison, she's also going to be faced with a choice, because she didn't really get to tell Scott what was going on, which I feel like he probably, it was a tough decision either way. Stay and listen to her talk about her family, and maybe he would have learned something, but then also he had to go save his mama, so I can't really fault him for that. And he's ultimately saving Jackson too, even though I feel like he didn't deserve it. It was good on him to do that. But now I feel like Kate has her claws sunk into Allison further than what her dad has, because he said that he was going to tell her eventually, and she's kind of overstepping him. So I think that's going to cause an issue between them two. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what Allison's going to think about all of this. He changed in front of Allison? Yo, I was not expecting that either. You guys keep telling me there's going to be a bunch of twists and turns, and I'm believing you. And somehow I knew Jackson was going to snitch. Like, I knew that was coming. He was going out bad, and they were already after him. So it was only a matter of time for real. And poor Lydia, like, I didn't like her, but she still didn't deserve that. And Kate and Derek? Now that makes a lot of sense, how he was so apprehensive about, like, Scott and Allison. Like, that makes everything a lot more clear, because he was basically kind of, reliving the past low key. But yeah, there's There's so much going on. And who is the veterinarian? Like, I'm still not clear. Like, obviously, he knows about werewolves and stuff, but is he a hunter or is he some kind of being himself? Because it wasn't really made clear. Like, and Kate did point out that there was other things out there, like shapeshifters and other stuff that they hunt, obviously. So, my guess is maybe he might be a shifter, but I'd like to know a little bit more about like who he is or what is he. But yeah, the alpha is relentless too, because he is just going in, like already with Scott's mom and everybody else. And like Styles, of course, Styles is going to be Styles. And he's so scared for this girl. Like, next episode. I had to sit up for this one. It's the season finale. And just like that, Derek is the alpha now. And of course, here comes Jackson, being a pick me, telling me, I hope you, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's irritating me. I hope that Derek just ignores him. Like, I know he had his mouth extended, but I just hope he did that just to piss him off and he didn't do anything about it. And at the beginning of the episode, I was starting to think that this was going to be Allison's, like, her origin villain era, but it seemed like everything worked out. I mean, only teenage love can allow you to watch your boyfriend turn into a werewolf in front of you. You shoot him with an arrow and then you get back together. That is teen love at its finest. But I do think that a lot of things are going to be a lot different now. Like, she's coming to her power and she's understanding the life of a hunter, knowing that he is a werewolf and there's other people coming. So I feel like season 2 is going to be interesting. And thank God Lydia is not a werewolf. That she would have been even more insufferable than she already is. Hope she's okay though. And Kate had what was coming to her. Like, I mean, I actually kind of liked Kate. Like, I liked her character and everything. I liked her mannerisms and everything. And she was just crazy. But Allison's mom is kind of a psycho too. So but she's a psycho in a different way. So I feel like now that her like woman figure is gone, there's going to be a lot of development that she's going to have to make really quick. And I don't think her mom being the only one that is in her life right now is going to be good for her because, like I said, her mom's great. And I also feel like Allison's dad kind of accepts Scott. Like, even though he knows he has a job, he's following the code. Like, he knows that Scott didn't do anything or has no proof of doing anything. I think he still low key sees him like, okay, he's gonna protect my daughter, and that's a lot of the reason why he didn't really react like how the others did. All in all, I think it was a really good season finale. The only thing that I wish they touched on was a veterinarian. This is gonna bother me. I need to know who this man is. Like, is he a werewolf? Is he a shifter? Is he something, a hunter? Like, what is his role and everything? Because there's no way that they referenced him throughout the series and they didn't explain like who he was. Like, some of the stuff that he found, like, that was part of the reason how, Scott figured out that the alpha ended up killing his sister. So please, hopefully that answer gets, that was answered in season 2. But yeah, overall, great season. I'm looking forward to the rest of these twists that y'all keep telling me about.